Hello, in this video I'm going to be talking about hardware and software wallets and what the difference is and what actually all the stuff about owning your own keys and the talks about private keys, stuff like that, what it all means. So the first important part is that all these technologies, for example XRP, but also Bitcoin or Ethereum, are public blockchains. So for example, if you would get a Ledger Nano S or also a software wallet, so there's like this misconception. Many people think that, for example, if they, I'm just gonna get the Ledger Nano S. I'm just gonna enter it here so you can see what I mean. If we've got this device, that's the Bitcoin or that Ethereum or XRP are stored on that device. That is not true. So the important part here is the hardware or software wallet. So this in this case would be a hardware wallet. And for example, I will be experimenting with you guys with that with Exodus, which is a software wallet. Only are the access, but the actual amount of your balance is stored on the public blockchain. So in order to emphasize that, we're just going quickly to webs that I already have shown you. For example, the XRPL, live.xrpl.org. We can see here all the transactions which are being right now being signed and agreed upon. So I'm going to go onto a green one here and just copy it. So somebody just sent 30,000 XRP to some address. I'm going to copy that address and open it with XRP scan because I like the website a lot. And as you can see here, this account has, for example, like lots of XRP on it. But for example, if so the person could be signing the transaction with a XRP Ledger Nano S, but the information about how much XRP is stored onto that account is stored on the blockchain and not on the device. So meaning that if you would, for example, destroy your Ledger Nano S, which does have the addresses, then your XRP account is not gone. It would be just the access code, but you were always supposed to back it up. But to go into more detail, I will be downloading Exodus, so a very well-known software wallet. Oh, there's also the Atomic wallet, so there are multiple wallets you could be using. There are also some wallets very specific to one currency. So if you just look at the Play Store and so on, and it's rather simple. So obviously, okay, I deleted that one obviously. You just install software wallet on your computer, and then we're also going to talk a little bit about security. So right now it's still downloading it, and apparently, okay, I'm like asking a little bit too much of my computer right now. So because I didn't even want to download that one, I wanted to download the Access wallet. I'm going to do it one last time, and we're going to install it. So it's rather simple, at least to that part here. And we're gonna set the wallet up from start. So we're gonna download it one last time. I'm just gonna click that it starts opens automatically. And any second now. Yes. Okay, so obviously my computer seems to be a little bit slow right now. But it should be over. No, it's not. Okay, great. So as we can see here, now it's installing Exodus, and great, yeah, it's installing it. It's like I said, a software wallet, so meaning that okay, I've got an error here. Oh, nice. I always started it twice, I think. So that's probably why. I've got the error here, so I'm just gonna try it one last time. Maybe also, I'm using too much of the storage already, and that's why it can't install. Let's see one more time if it's gonna work now. And Access has been installed. Great. So we can see it has been installed, and I can open the application on my computer. So like I said, you can also install it on your iPhone or whatever. So now I've got my wallet here. So now it offers me two options. So it can either create an account or restore from wallet. So an important part is, for example, make your first deposit. So you can already receive. So if they're offering that you can receive for multiple currencies here. But one thing we should do first is like back up our current account. So if you go into settings, there should be one part. So I'm using Access the first time right now. but there should be functionality to at least retrieve our private keys. So I'm here more specifically talking about the mnemonic. So as we can see here, with any currency, you go onto it and can say receive. So it's creating our own address. So that address is not activated yet. So it's just based um, on some information. It's calculating a new address for us. So we can also say if view on blockchain is opening XRP scan, you can see that account has not been enabled yet. So it's loading and telling us, nope, that doesn't exist. So the interesting part would be right now if I could, view private keys, there's the part. And warning, yes, I'm sure. And now we can see, okay, now we can see the private key for that exact account. So that is the first part. We've got the address and also private key. You can see it right now because I'm not going to use that. So therefore you can even see that and use it, whatever. But that's not even what I wanted to do because I wanted view flare spark. Okay, we've got also flare spark, but that's also about rather Ethereum. Yes. Isn't it? Yeah, whatever. Oh, it's Access Spark. I don't care about that. I rather care about nope with funds with that account. So I'm not that familiar with the overlay apparently, because the important part is are the 12 words here. So there's a 12-word recovery phrase which I'm rather trying to extract, and apparently I'm not able enough to do that. I will check one more time. I'm going to wallet, and there should be some damn button telling me exported shit. And I'm going, okay, we've got here all my accounts, assets, apps, oh, finally. And probably on the secure, backup, obviously, okay, I'm fucking stupid. Okay, so now I can, for example, enter here password, so whatever. I'm just gonna use 1234. 1234. Ah, shit, okay, I have to use something better than that, apparently. So now I have to confirm the password, and now there's the interesting part. We've got here my 12-word recovery backup phrase. That's a so-called mnemonic. Okay, so if you just Google it, mnemonic, it miswrote it. An mnemonic is basically just a sort of the concatenation, but a specific amount of words. So a system such as patterns of letters, ideas, associations, assists in remembering something. So we've got here, that's an mnemonic, okay? And that mnemonic is basically your master password. With that mnemonic, you have access to all your accounts. And we can see that you have to write it down. And for example, if now my computer would like break, and if I have written it down, I can just install the Access wallet on another computer and say, okay, I want to restore the backup. So meaning that thing here is the most important part of everything. So you have to write it somewhere down. You have to have it. That's the part you shouldn't maybe not also have as a file. Or at least the file should be encrypted like twice, so you can use BitLocker on your computer, and maybe also you can encrypt the Word file and also put a password onto the Word file, so you would have even encrypted twice. So it's up to you how you want to do that, or if you just want to, for example, print it or write it down on the paper and then spread it around your house or put it into a safe. That's completely up to you guys. So the one important part here, which I didn't clarify before, is what is the difference if you're having your crypto quote unquote stored on your own account, like for example with your Access wallet, in contrast to having it on an exchange. So an exchange is basically just having their own. So with the exchange, you are trusting the exchange that it always works, meaning that you are not they write down, for example, we can easily illustrate that with an Excel sheet, I guess, that they are writing down just, for example, the user, whatever, XRP dev, and they're writing down, for example, the XRP dev, does he have Bitcoin, does he have ETH, does he have XRP, and XRP dev, for example, has 10 XRP, or let's say 100. And so it's basically an IOU on the exchange. I do not have my own wallet on their account. They usually use pools. So we can also have a closer look on that if we just, that's why you always have to enter a destination tag. So if we just look one more time livenet.xrpl.org, somebody might send something to Binance or something like that. There are these pool addresses, so they might use multiple addresses, but basically they're pooling all the XRP onto one account. And so we can just take any address because anybody would have usually bought it from exchange first. So I'm just going to use XRP scan one more time and enter this here. So that person must have bought something on, okay, for change now, okay, it sounds like, oh, pay biz. Okay, no, this doesn't look that good. Coins PH, Binance, there it is, okay. For example, if we hear Binance address, okay? And on this Binance address, people are like, for example, also depositing money, and it's a shared account. There's 640 million XRP on that account, and these are shared. So like there's one big account, they're storing it for you, and then they're having their own system on the website where they're keeping track on how many XRP somebody has. So they're not giving you your own address more or less, and that goes for many accounts. So not necessarily for all of them. I didn't look close into it, but for example, I can tell you definitely for XRP, they're having these shared accounts. So that's why the DT means destination tag. That's why when people want to send something to Binance or deposit, so these are all out transactions going away from that account. But usually, if you want to deposit something, they're also adding a destination tag because they must somehow identify the user. And that's a part here. So meaning that you fully have to trust the exchange, nobody hacks the exchange and is able to retrieve all the funds. So some exchanges do have also have some kind of insurance and making sure that you don't lose the money. But a safer way to store your XRP or any other currency is if you have your own wallet. So like I said, so there are software and hardware wallets. I'm myself using a Ledger Nano S. It's basically, so the thing here is it's a so-called hardware wallet. Since it's something physical we've got in the hand, that's why it's called hardware. Um, and there are many devices. There's also a thing Secure X Tag there, and there are lots of hardware wallets. Just compare them and find your favorite device. For example, this one has a nice overlay, so maybe some people like it having something graphical. Some of them might be more user friendly. It's completely up to you which device you want to use. And if you want to use one, I'm just trying to emphasize the difference here, so you can understand what it actually means, like having your own hardware or software wallet. So going on, like when you set up the device, then the device generates for you a 24-word mnemonic, and you write that down, and that's basically the same principle we've got with this 12-word mnemonic. And as long as you have that, you can always restore it. And yes, the same counts also for the Exodus wallet, or also for the Atomic wallet, and so on. So like I said, you have to, and yeah, in contrast to having one central authority, for example, like Binance or Coinbase and so on, being able to unilaterally decide what you want to do. So they can obviously also, Coinbase can, for example, like block your account, or they can also like hinder you from doing deposits, not deposits necessarily, but also they can hinder you from even sending your currency. And that's what is not possible when you're actually using the blockchain technology. So whenever you're just trading and buying and selling, you're just buying and selling IOUs. And whenever you're actually like creating your own wallet, your own address, and sending it to that address, you're actually using a public blockchain and actually doing a transaction. So there is a huge difference. So like I said, it's a little bit more complicated. You have to be very careful. And also, if you do a transaction on a public blockchain and you accidentally enter the wrong address, you can't reverse that. So I want to be clear here. Please know what you do, and also be careful when entering addresses. For example, on the XRP network, addresses are case sensitive, meaning that you have to be very careful. So they have some checksums, making sure that you don't mistype. But still, it's very important that you know about the risks. So whenever you send, for example, here, this person sent 161 XRP to that address, meaning that that he cannot change it back, roll it back. That doesn't work. Okay, so but for example, if you on Binance, for example, forget the destination tag, that's not a big problem since the funds arrived on Binance, so they have actually money in the wallet, but they can't like say can't like connect it to your account, so that's where you have to write the support. But if you accidentally enter the wrong address, then it's gone. Then you can do nothing about it. So I also want to make that clear. And if you decide to use a hardware software wallet, please make sure that you write your 12-word backup recovery good down and don't share it with anybody. Also, don't photograph it and post on Twitter. So these are always how you can lose everything. And yeah, please just try and fool a bit around. Maybe also at first, just test it with lower balances, and I don't know. One thing I might want to add here is the current minimum reserve for XRP is trendy, meaning that if you want to create a wallet and say then I want to receive XRP, you have to at least have 20 XRP, and it's about like whatever. What is it right now? Like it's like $37. So, oh, I mean $30. Okay, I can't do math apparently. So yeah, it's like $30. So you can delete XRP accounts and get 15 of the 20 XRP back, and 5 can burn in the process. But I just want to add, if you want to create a new account and your address, then you will have to. The minimum balance is 20. They're already trying to change that to 10. But it's gonna take a while. So if you just take a look at XRP scan about the validators, you can see here that already 5 validators are voting for the lower fees, but only 5 out of 38. So that's why we have to wait until it happens. So I hope you all were able to understand a little bit more the difference between hardware and software wallets. I hope it was quite clear what actually works in the background. One thing I also want to highlight is when you, for example, send from a software wallet XRP to a exchange, the money arrives at the exchange's account, for example, with XRP within the 3 to 5 seconds. But, now here's a big but many people don't get. The exchange themselves also have a backend service. They have a service checking all the transactions. So the Binance, for example, gets lots of X transactions every second, and they have to process that. And that's why it sometimes even takes a little bit longer. So, meaning, for example, when there are many people sending XRP or any other currency from their account to the exchange's account, it might take even some time, even though the deposit already went through. So you have to differ that. So there are 2 waiting times. First, using a blockchain network that takes some time, but not with XRP. It's like I said, 3 to 5 seconds for every ledger close. We can see the standard time is 3.8 seconds here. So done and done. And then also there's a processing service from Binance, so they know it's there. Then they got it, and now this service has to check. So they've got like a huge list of transactions. So example, incoming from blah blah destination tag. They've got some destination tag. For example, let's say that's yours, and amount, and for example 10. Okay, so incoming from, okay, for example whatever. Let's just take R and some random address. And let's say they've got like lots of transactions, okay? So I'm just gonna drag it down there, and then the service starts processing it. So they go for the first, okay? They've got it from that address. They don't care about that actually. They see the destination tag, see okay. So we've got XRP DAF. They also, for that account, they have my destination tag here. And they're saying, cool, yeah. So that destination tag matches my internal IOU ledger database. Okay, so we're gonna give him 10 more XRP. Okay, so now he has 110. Okay, done. Then it does the next one. And there might be some cases where many people once try to send it, and then it just takes a little bit more time. So that, and also sometimes they have issues with the service and so on. So I'm just trying to get you to understand why sometimes, even though you're using great blockchain technology in the background, it might take some time for some exchanges to process that to give you the IOU you, well, more like you do own. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.